Hi, everybody. This is Terry from Terri Loves Books, and I'm here today with author Sherry Rentschler. Hi, Sherry. How's it going?
Hey, Terry, I'm good.
Good. Sherry's joining me for a pop-up interview, which is just a fun way for me to get to talk to people who like books, people who write books, people who read books. One of my favorite things to do is I'm not much of a big party girl. If I'm ever at a big party, I'm always going to be like hanging out, making sure the snack table is fully, loaded and everything is great. And, I'm not the person that's going to be socializing all over the place. But one-on-one or with a couple people, there is nothing more than I like to do than just that. So I invited Sherry to come talk to all of us today about her latest book and what she's got going on and what's coming up next. So Sherry, let's start with what you drinking today.
This is a mug of tea. Here's my cup, my Maleficent mug, my favorite. So I've got my afternoon tea.
I'm pretty boring. I just have some water, some lemon water today.
Well, I got that too.
Awesome. So, Sherry, why don't you tell us a little bit about your latest book, Time and Blood?
Time and Blood came out last year on Halloween. And it is the first book in the Evening Bower series. And the Evening Bower series is more like an ensemble group you might meet on television. And from the Bower, we're going to run a whole bunch of adventures. And the Bower includes Rhea, who is a phoenix who has transmuted into a physical form of a human. Her beloved, who is JL or Jean-Louis, and he is a 250, 60-year-old vampire who has been imbued with the spirit of an ancient phoenix, Rhea's ancient mate. They have just had a baby, and his name is Destin.
Well, whoever said that old people couldn't get it on then, huh?
Yeah, really? Everybody's going to be wondering, well, now, wait a minute. If she's a phoenix and he's a vampire, how did they have a baby? And, well, you're just going to have to read the book. And anyway, there's a big baddie coming to town, and all of his little cronies, and they have just had this big, massive battle in Time and Blood. And now the new book that's coming out will pick up after what happens next.
And when can we expect the new book out?
God willing, and the creek doesn't rise. It should be August, I'm hoping.
Okay. August is a good month.
I hope so.
All right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your writing process? And I kind of want to know, like, why writing? Why not? I mean, writing is not easy to do.
No.
So why do you torture yourself like that?
Because I'm a masochist. No. No.
That's for the after hours chat. Sherry, come back later, okay?
Yes, I'll bring the toys. I think that, you shouldn't have asked me that. I think that writing is like breathing. If I don't do it, I get sick. I literally physically sick. I have to write something every day. I have to feel like I'm making a contribution in some way. Even my books or my poetry, everything has some sort of a message or a lesson. I can't just write a story that somehow I'm not sneaking in a little advice or an idea or concept somewhere along the line. But writing is joy. Writing is life. Writing is the secret to everything, for me anyway. And I don't sing or dance or play an instrument, or I don't know how to give sex therapy and have tantric sex every day. So I just have to write. It's what I do. And I think of myself as, first of all, I hate labels. So, I could say I'm a wife and not a mother. Well, I've been a mother, but not that way. And just, I think being a writer is just being me. It's who I am. I don't know what to say.
I've decided that writing is a lot cheaper than therapy.
Yeah, because writing is therapy.
Right.
It had that scene in Pretty Woman where they're laying in the bathtub and she wraps her legs around Richard Gere, and he says, I hated, my father, and he's paying her like $8,000 a day. And so when she wraps each leg around him, she says, well, that's $4,000 and that's $4,000 and I'm cheaper than therapy, right? And kind of for me, writing, every time I pick up a pen, and she reaches for her pen, which she can't get now. That's the therapy right there. And it's cheaper than any psychologist, and it's less painful, unless I start stabbing myself, which has happened. But I just think that what makes us good right there.
I remember one night I came home, one afternoon I came home from the grocery store, and the clerk who checked me out just really angered me. So I came home and I wrote this scene where I killed her, and it was like awesome.
And you said, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah.
You know, there's a joke where people say, you know, don't piss off the writer, they'll kill you in their books.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't, you know, I think I've planned the perfect murder several times. And it's perfect because I haven't told anybody. Now, see, that's the secret to a perfect murder. You must do it and not tell anybody. And then what's the fun in that, right? We write to tell stories.
I mean, it's not like you can go out on Twitter and go, hashtag I just killed somebody.
Well,
I don't know. So what are you working on next, Terri?
Right now I'm in the middle of Love and Blood, which is book 2 of the Evening Bower series. I'm also working on a series of short stories, more like, well, not even real short stories. They're more like microfiction. They're stories that have to do with the characters, but things that happen like in between moments or in between books, things that I might not put in a book, but will be fun to read and get to know the characters. And I'm calling those my vignettes. And I'm going to hopefully have those to come out later this year too. Hopefully Christmas, maybe. In the meantime, I've just about finished my workbook for writers, or writer wannabes, I should say. I've had this idea a long time for people who say to me, I want to write, I just don't know how. Mm-hmm. And I encourage them to get involved in creative writing courses. And they say to me, no, not that kind of writing. I want to just know, how do you write? Where does it start? So I started this idea of doing a workbook, and you and I talked about this quite a bit, right, where we sit down and we show people, here's how you begin. Whether it's journaling, writing on a napkin, this is how you begin to build the idea of writing. And the thing about building a book and all that kind of stuff, that's later, and you choose to do that on your own time. But I can show you how to start to write. Right. And so I'm going to do 3 workbooks, a beginner, intermediate, advanced. And I've just about got the first one finished, and I'll be testing it on your kids probably.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes over.
But yeah, I'm hoping to have that one out before we go to the next signing in September. I'm hoping to have that one out in time for that. So okay. I'm looking forward to that.
All right, good. Now, if anybody wants to find you on the internet, where can they find you?
Well, I'm on Facebook for author Sherry Rentschler. And speaking of that, I'm having a live Facebook chat this Saturday at 10 a.m. on my Facebook page. It only lasts about 15 minutes, and I have a whole bunch of things to talk about. So join me there. Or you can find me on Twitter. I'm Poet Phoenix on Twitter. I'm Poet Phoenix on Goodreads. I'm The Poet Phoenix on Instagram. What else?
What's your website?
SherryRentschler.com.
Good. Okay. Well, Sherry, I want to just thank you for joining me as we just sit and chat and have a little drink.
This is great. I love this new format. Very clever.
I like it too. I don't know, it's just easier for me to talk to somebody than to just sit and talk to myself all the time.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is awesome, and I think more people will pick this up. I might steal it too eventually.
Awesome. Well, speaking of which, if you haven't liked my Facebook page, please make sure that you do. And that you share this video, because it's something that I really want to get the word out, that I want to interview readers and bloggers and writers, professional service offers, people who do like book blog tours and things like that, just so I can kind of just talk about reading and just get to know more people.
I'd like to ask you a question.
Okay.
When will we see your book?
Well, if everything works out, like you said, what is this? The creek doesn't rise. If the creek doesn't rise, I'm looking at, I was going to try to do it the first part of April, but I'm thinking the last part of April, right around my birthday, or like mid-May.
Okay, well, when you're ready to go, I'll interview you and we'll talk about your book.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's going to be fun. I probably
Anyway,
would.
thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. I really appreciate it.
I almost said something else, but then I remembered I can't. All right, everybody. As always, it's really important for me in everything I do that I do share my beliefs just a little bit. And I really want to make sure that everybody understands, believe you can fly and you'll be able to. Thank you very much. Come back anytime, Sherry. And stay on the line real quick and we'll talk some more, all right?
Bye, everybody.
Bye.